Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to the Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, on Star Times channel 276 and free to air on Nigekimsat. You can also download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to reclaiming ungoverned areas, particularly forests, from terrorist and other criminal elements in the country. The president gave the assurance while addressing elders and leaders of Katsina State at a state dinner held at the government house. Tinubu says advanced software and technology would be deployed to combat kidnapping, banditry, and terrorism. A chieftain of the All Progressives Congress in Osun State, Olatubosun Oyintiloye, has called on President Bola Tinubu and heads of the country's security agencies to urgently go after individuals and groups financing insecurity across Nigeria. Speaking in Osogbo, Oyintiloye, a former member of the defunct APC Presidential Campaign Council, decried the continued attacks and killings in states like Benue and Plateau, describing the incident as pathetic and unacceptable. We'll take a quick break. The news continues shortly. Many thanks for staying with us. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has denied reports claiming that it has fixed a date for the resumption of the continuous voter registration exercise, including related services such as transfer and replacement of lost permanent voter cards. The Chief Press Secretary to the Commission's chairman, Rotimi Oyekomi, in a statement via X, says the Commission has urged the public to disregard an anonymous message circulating online which falsely claims that the CVR will resume on May 27, 2025, and INEC has not yet announced any dates for the resumption of these activities. A key ally of Labour Party presidential candidates in the 2023 general elections, Peter Obi Oseloka Obaze, has resigned his membership of the party. Obaze disclosed this in a letter addressed to the party's chairman in Ochuche Ward 406, Ogbaru local government in Awka. Obaze, a former United Nations diplomat, was the secretary to Anambra State Governor under Obi and had worked closely with him as an advisor and chieftain of the party until his resignation. The Nigerian Guild of Editors, NGE, and the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has called for the suspension of the implementation of the Cybercrime Act. The Deputy Director of SERAP, Kolawole Oluwadare, noted that Section 24 of the Cybercrimes Act, despite its 2024 amendment, is a legal instrument routinely used against journalists, bloggers, activists, and even ordinary citizens for expressing opinions online. At a press briefing in Lagos, the groups alleged that the Cybercrime Act and other regulatory tools are being used to stifle dissent and criminalize journalism that criticize the government. The Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, has deployed 1,152 teams across the 62 wards of its 6 area councils to aggressively immunize children under 5 against the polio virus. Mandate Secretary of Health Services and Environment Secretariat, Dr. Ade Dolapo Fashawe, disclosed this at the palace of the Sarkin Jiwa Alhaji Idris Musa during the flag-off of the first round of national immunization, plus days in the nation's capital, Abuja. The teams are set up to embark on house-to-house visits and visits to churches and other special places, while the administration also deployed 154 fixed-post teams across its health facilities. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has issued a call to the federal and state governments to remove vice-chancellors, rectors and provosts of tertiary institutions found culpable in the mismanagement of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund (NELFund) scheme. Speaking during a media parley in Abuja, the newly elected president of the association, Comrade Olushola Ladoje, condemned what he described as systemic abuse of the Students' Loan Initiative. He warned that any head of institution involved in dubious dealings would face nationwide student-led resistance and calls for removal. This comes amid growing concerns over alleged fraudulent practices by some institutions, including double billing of tuition fees, withholding loan disbursement announcements, and conspiring with banks for personal gains. Osun State government has dismissed as false and misleading the claims by the All Progressives Congress (APC) that Governor Ademola Adeleke attempted to defect from the People's Democratic Party (PDP). A statement issued by the governor's spokesperson, Olawale Rashid, described the claim as hallucination, stating that Governor Adeleke had never negotiated or considered leaving the PDP at any time. Lagos State Chapter of the All Progressives Congress (APC) has cleared 432 chairmanship aspirants to contest in the party's primary elections scheduled for May 10, 2025, ahead of the July 12 local government polls. The cleared aspirants emerged following a week-long screening exercise held at the party state secretariat on ACME Road, Ogba, between April 29th and May 3rd. A total of 470 aspirants were screened, out of which 38 were either disqualified or voluntarily withdrawn from the race. Among those who stepped down was Abdul Ganiu Obasa, son of Lagos State House of Assembly Speaker Mudashiru Obasa, reportedly following the intervention of APC national leader and President Bola Tinubu. An advocacy group concerned Citizens Against Corruption has distanced itself from a petition submitted to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) and the Attorney General of the Federation (AGF) seeking a probe of former NNPCL Group Chief Executive Officer Mele Kyari. The group described the petition as a smear campaign orchestrated by imposters using its name without authorization, stating that it had no involvement in the press conference held by individuals who claimed to represent them. According to the group, a certain Comrade Kabir Matazu led the protest and press briefing at the AGS office, alleging fraud and irregularities in the turnaround maintenance of Nigeria's refineries during Kyari's tenure. President Bola Tinubu has urged Nigerian security agencies to eliminate terrorists and their foreign collaborators to end the prevailing security challenges bedeviling the country. He gave the charge while addressing military and other security personnel at the Umaru Musa Yar'Adua International Airport, Katsina State. Defense correspondent Kikeloma Okere reports. Well, we'll bring you that report subsequently. In a different development, President Bola Tinubu has urged governors nationwide to prioritize impactful governance that directly benefits their citizens. The president, who stated this during his two-day visit to Katsina State, emphasized that true leadership is measured by visible, positive outcomes in people's lives. Sharon Ajay completes the story. We'll also bring you that report subsequently. The Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, Dr. Jide Idris, says the country has recorded 832 confirmed cases of Lassa fever and monkeypox between January and April. Idris, who made this known at the National Health Security Press Briefing in Abuja, noted that the country also recorded 135 deaths from the diseases in 2025. Global Television brings you details. We apologize. We will bring you that report subsequently. You're watching the live broadcast of the Midday News, where Midday News returns at Jagba, Bakole draw in Saudi heavyweight clash. Details coming shortly after the break. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. If you've just joined us, this is Global Television, bringing you live broadcast of the Midday News. In business, the World Bank says the poverty rate among Nigeria's rural population has reached an alarming 75.5%, highlighting deepening inequality and widespread economic hardship across the country. The World Bank's latest April 2025 Poverty and Equity Brief for Nigeria indicates that rural dwellers are overwhelmingly bearing the brunt of economic stagnation, inflation, and structural challenges that has characterized the country's growth trajectory in recent years. The data, which derived from Nigeria's most recent nationally representative survey, shows that while 41.3% of the urban population lives below the poverty line, the figure for rural Nigeria is almost double. Oyo State Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Project has awarded contracts worth 3.5 billion for the first phase of physical improvement and remodeling of 3 markets across the state. The State Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Olasukami Olaleye, disclosed this in a statement released by the State Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Dotun Oyelade, in Ibadan, the state capital. He reaffirmed the government's dedication to transforming rural markets into modern, functional hubs that will drive agricultural productivity and improve access to markets across the state. Ondo State has emerged as Nigeria's most fiscally disciplined subnational government, having reduced its domestic debt by 82.6% within a year, making it the highest debt reduction among all 36 states. In a statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Leke Adegbite, the achievement is attributed to the strategic economic reforms and financial prudence of Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa's administration since its inception. On the foreign scene, flights are suspended at Israel's Ben Gurion airport after a missile launched from Yemen hit near its vicinity, causing damage. Strip's government media office says at least 57 Palestinians have starved to death under Israel's total blockade, as trucks carrying food, water, and medicine are piling up at the borders of Gaza. Israeli attacks across Gaza since dawn on Saturday has killed 45 Palestinians, including 3 babies. Australia's opposition party has been left reeling after a bruising defeat in the federal election, with a result that is shaping up to be its worst ever loss. Peter Dutton, the Liberal Party leader, also lost his own seat of Dixon, which he had held for the past 24 years. Labour's landslide victory means the Liberal Party is now scrambling to find a new leader and figure out what went wrong for them this election cycle. The Ukrainian military says Russia's overnight drone attack on Kyiv damaged several residential buildings and set cars on fire throughout the city. Head of Kyiv's military administration, Timur Kachenko, says on social media that falling debris from destroyed drones sparked fires at residential buildings in Kyiv's Oblonsky and Vyatoshinsky district. In sports now, Nigeria's Premier Football League, NPFL, New Boys and High Flyers, Ikorodu City, has reached the semi-finals of the 2025 President Federation Cup following a hard-fought 1-0 win over Wiki Tourist in Abuja. The NPFL side secured their berth in the final four with 10 men, scoring the only goal of the game courtesy of Shola Adelani's second-half penalty. Nuruddin Awero's side had Leonard Ngege sent off after the hour mark, but the Lagos side held on to hold on and book their spot in the last four, where they will play Nigeria National League side Abakaliki FC. Nigerian heavyweight Efe Ajagba and Congolese contender Martin Bakole have fought to a dramatic majority draw in a much-anticipated bout in Saudi Arabia. After 10 intense rounds at the ANB Arena in Riyadh, the judges scored the contents 95-95, 94-96, and 95-95, with one judge narrowly favoring Ajagba, while the other two called it even. The outcome surprised many boxing analysts who had pegged Bakole as the slight favorite. The fight, part of the undercard for Canelo Alvarez clash with William Skull, had high stake for both fighters. And that's it on Global TV Media News. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 on Star Times, channel 276, and free-to-air on Nightcamsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Queen Agaba.